Hi, this is Scott with Specter Gear, and for today's video we're going to be talking about the Mini-14 again. This is another video in the continuing series that I'm doing on the Mini-14 carbines, and for today we're going to be talking about reliability issues. And there are going to be two videos, one that follows immediately afterwards, because there is something, the next video relates very directly to what I'm talking about here. But when it comes to the Mini-14, one thing I am really happy about with my Mini-14, and the main thing or main reason why I like it so much, is this gun is absolutely dead solid reliable. If you keep these guns clean and you don't abuse them and you use proper magazines, that's the next video, by the way. Use proper magazines. These are trouble-free guns that are eminently reliable, and that's important to me. In fact, when it comes to a defensive weapon, reliability is the #1 concern that I have. If I don't trust a gun, if I've got a gun that's problematic or tends to malfunction, I absolutely will not carry it for defensive purposes. If I have the choice of carrying anything else, I will. My experience with AR-15s and M16s, it's not really the subject of this video, has not been nearly as positive as it has been with the Mini-14. That's just me. Some of you out there have probably had some very good experiences with those weapon systems. Mine over the years have not. It's kind of like my experience with 1911s. I've never had a 1911 that ran worth a darn, and I've never had a civilian AR-15 that ran worth a darn. Just is what it is. That's been my experience. Your experience may be completely different. If it is, wonderful. But when it comes to the Mini-14, I'll give you an example. I've had, I lose count. I nailed it down the other day. I have had 4 Mini-14s. Of all the Mini-14s that I've had, I have only had one malfunction that could not be attributed to magazines. Now, I've had malfunctions, but they have always been attributed to using a crappy magazine, trying to cheap out on mags. And we'll talk about that in the next video. The one malfunction that I had, and I'll go ahead and show it to you. It actually relates to the handguard that's on this carbine right now. Shortly after I installed the handguard, I had it out at the range, and because I had moved some stuff around, and of course in replacing this, you have to take the gas block off. Want to make sure everything was running right. About halfway through the day of shooting, I had a really odd malfunction. I'll replicate it because I didn't take a picture of it. I just looked down, I cleared the malfunction and moved on. I didn't even think about how it would be important to illustrate later, but it's easy enough to replicate here. I had a piece of brass do that. Now, it never did it again, but apparently what happened is at some point, either it was a 1 in a million fluke and that the round went up and just maybe got bumped by the operating handle. I don't know, but it caught between this projection here and the operating handle, and that's exactly what it looked like. Now, it was easy enough to clear, and it's never happened again. That was last August, I believe. And since then, there's been a lot of rounds downrange with this gun, and I've not had it again. But I did very seriously consider just taking this thing off, putting the factory handguard back on. But it didn't happen again the rest of the day, and like I said, it's not a constant problem. But sometimes weird stuff like that happens. I could fill an entire, probably 30-minute video talking about some of the bizarre stuff that I've encountered over the years with both ammunition and just weird malfunctions that have occurred. But in terms of reliability, you keep these things clean, okay? You don't abuse the weapon and you use proper magazines. These are trouble-free, reliable weapons. And like I said, that is the #1 thing. #1 consideration in a defensive firearm for me. So really that's kind of it when it comes to reliability issues. I really don't have anything else to say on it. Usually with some guns you can say, well, there's this problem, you can fix it with this part, and there's this problem. Nope, just keep it stocked, keep it clean, use the proper magazines, and you're good to go. So for the next video that's going to follow immediately after that, I'm going to talk about those very same magazines. So with that, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day. This is Scott at Specter Gear. Take it easy.